Welcome into Saints Now. I am Will Scott talking about the latest New Orleans Saints news, and there is a lot of news to report to you guys. Some news that just broke an hour ago. We're going to get to that in a second. Here is what's coming up on today's show. So the Saints signed a linebacker. It is Jon Bostic. Not a surprise that we knew the Saints might bring in a linebacker. They have done so. We're going to tell you what you need to know about Bostic. Also, an update on Alvin Kamara from Adam Schefter earlier today. And then Trevor Penning, according to PFF at least, looked pretty darn good in the Saints' first preseason game against the Houston Texans over the weekend. Let's get to this news first, though, because Mike Triplett reported this. Saints signed linebacker Jon Bostic, defensive end Niko Lalos, defensive tackle Jaleel Johnson. They have waived injured defensive backs Jordan Brown, Isaiah Pryor. Waived defensive ends T.J. Carter, Scott Patchan. Wide receiver Easop Winston Jr. Safety Jack Koerner. Kicker John Parker Romo. Placed offensive tackle Ethan Greenidge on IR. Injury settlement with defensive tackle Bryce Thompson. Did you get all of that, Saints fans? Mickey Loomis out here making some moves on a Monday. I don't even know how Mike Triplett fit that all in one tweet. My goodness. Those are all the moves the Saints have made in the last hour. And that is why you subscribe, because the Saints literally made those moves in the last 30 minutes. We're getting you guys a video. Here is what Jon Bostic has done in the last 4 seasons. Just 22 tackles, but only 4 games played last season. 2018, over 100 tackles. 2019, over 100 tackles. Pretty solid pickup here for the Saints. Pretty late into the training camp period. Obviously, the regular season about a month away. They bring Bostic in, a team that really needed some linebacker depth. Now, grade the signing. Type A, B, C, D, or F. It is the pinned comment on today's video. Go down and reply to it. Let me know what you think about the Jon Bostic signing. I'm going to give it a B+. I mean, the Saints needed some linebacker depth. He's a veteran. Pretty solid signing, bringing Bostic in. Of course, this comes after Kiko Alonso showed up to camp and then retired after like 24 hours. This coming from Dov, who tweeted this earlier today. It looks more and more likely that Saints running back Alvin Kamara will be looking more and more unlikely that he will be disciplined this season, according to Adam Schefter. So that coming from Dov, a report from Adam Schefter that we will get to in a second. We will break down the specifics of that report because we have been waiting all offseason pretty much for this Alvin Kamara suspension news. Maybe a suspension is not going to happen this season. Now, this is why you subscribe, because we have kept you up to date on everything you need to know about Alvin Kamara. Go down, subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because if you turn on your notifications, we'll let you know, YouTube at least will let you know when we put out a YouTube video. This coming from Adam Schefter on Kamara. I think the league is going to be looking into this, but it's going to be a little while it seems before this legal case is settled. So if we're talking about Alvin Kamara from a fantasy standpoint, there's a real chance that the status of that case is not going to affect his availability this season. Now, at some point in time, depending on what the investigation shows, yes, he could be disciplined. But in terms of this season, it looks more and more unlikely that it's going to be this season. His attorneys keep pushing out this case. It keeps being pushed back. And by the time that there's resolution to it, this season may be well underway, and Alvin Kamara may be on the field for a majority, if not all, of the season. Here is what Kamara did last season. One of the best running backs in all of football. Somehow, we're going to get to this later on, somehow is not a top 50 player by NFL top 100. 240 carries, nearly 900 yards, 4 touchdowns. Here's what he did receiving. I mean, he is just a guy that's very versatile, can get it done for you in a lot of different aspects on your offense. 5 receiving touchdowns for Kamara as we bring in producer Trace Gerard. And Trace, man, we've been patient, waiting for some news on Kamara, and we might have to wait a little bit longer because it's looking more and more like, and again, this is according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. It's not just some random rumor off the street. Pretty credible guy here in Adam Schefter reporting this, that Alvin Kamara probably is not going to get suspended this season.
Yeah, so first of all, I think that we should all just take a quick second and just, yay. Yay, we're good.
Good job, attorneys.
We
Good job.
We were fine. Good job, Kamara, for not getting suspended, I think, if you can say that. No, but I think it's a really, really big deal because, as we all know, this running back 3 competition is kind of getting weird. With Tony Jones Jr. and Abram Smith and Devine Ezigbo, and I'm forgetting one name. It's slipping my mind right now, and I'm sorry about it. But, I mean, between all of those guys, it's just become such a big issue. Dwayne Washington, so sorry about that. And between all of those guys, it's become a very, very tough decision for Dennis Allen and for Pete Carmichael and the coaching staff because – they've all kind of looked good. Like, none of them have really stood out as the true RB3. More so, they've kind of all looked like an RB3, if you will.
Absolutely. And, we've talked a lot about the Saints maybe trading for a Kareem Hunt or Ernest Johnson and going out and getting a big name to replace Kamara. But maybe the reason that they haven't done that is Mickey Loomis and people inside the building knew this was possible, that there was going to be no suspension because trading for Kareem Hunt wouldn't have made sense if Alvin Kamara is going to suit up the first couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, and I think that, we look back at the numbers from just a minute ago. I think that you have to take that with a grain of salt because it was kind of an off year.
Right.
If we remember, the Saints last year was just a headache and a half. It was not fun to watch. But, I mean, still, despite all that, he still put up solid numbers and stuff. So that just is a big reason as to why having Alvin Kamara back, it's just going to open up the offense and really allow him to dive in and be the running back that we all know him to be. A top 51,
Absolutely.
By the way.
Yes.
NFL, you're wrong. NFL, you're wrong.
We're going to get to those top 100 rankings here in a couple minutes. But this is great news, especially with the way the third running back battle is going, like Trace Gerard just mentioned. This is fantastic news, and I would tend to agree. At this point, it feels like a suspension is not going to happen. I would agree with Shefty. What is your one-word reaction to the Kamara news? Go down in the comments section and let me know. Curious to hear what y'all think. A lot of us, I think, are going to be clapping it up down in the comments section. Let's talk about this because this was really interesting from PFF. Highest graded first-round offensive rookies in week 1 of the preseason. Trevor Penning was that's not a typo, was the highest rated offensive rookie in week 1. That is fantastic. Over a 90 grade for Penning, while the silver medal went to Garrett Wilson with a 78.7 grade. So outstanding. You love to see it. And we knew the potential was there with Trevor Penning. We knew that he was a good player and he just had to put it together. So he played pretty well in that first preseason game. Let's take a look at the overall grades here. So the run grade was phenomenal. Pass grade, not so much. Let's focus on the run grade, though. Overall grade, 86.2, so really solid start to Penning's career in black and gold. You love to see it. Trace, I'm pretty optimistic about Trevor Penning, and I know that, he's had the fights. There's been some drama, but the potential is there.
Yeah, and so kind of just a quick note. I know the numbers were wrong were different on the PFF numbers, but the lower number, the 86.2, is whenever they went back and reviewed the film, and reevaluated and gave them a more accurate number. So it was originally that 90.
It's like horse racing. That first thing was unofficial.
Exactly. But that 91 still, still way better, considerably better than everybody else. So, hey, what do we know? All I'm saying is we kind of did give him a little bit of a hard time the other day. I've been a firm believer in I don't mind Trevor Penning's mindset and his aggression. I think that you need to hone it in and really coach out the unpredictability and just make it more consistent. But we knew he was going to be a project. It's not like we figured he was going to be Charles Cross or Ike Mekwonu whenever we drafted him. He's gonna need some polishing. He's gonna need some coaching. And he's gonna need some of that. But it's a good thing because they have James Hurst and he doesn't have to start right away, which is kind of
takes pressure off of him.
Yes, it's a blessing in disguise and stuff, or not really even in disguise, but I mean, look at James Hurst's PFF numbers compared. The run grade of 60.1 overall, pass grade of 76.9 overall, a 70-ish. He only gave up 3 sacks last season. Not too bad, but I also think that there's still a lot more that could be done with that run grade. And Trevor Penning in college had a phenomenal run blocking grade. It's just his pass blocking grade was a little questionable.
Right,
but
and we saw that same thing in that first game.
Yeah, and I think if you get him to hone it in and you get him to kind of have James Hurst kind of coach him and give him that veteran presence and that veteran opinion and stuff, and, weigh in to help him coach or help him practice and get better, then I think that, Trevor Penning could do great things.
Absolutely. And, I still think we're going to see Hirsch probably start week 1, but good sign that Penning received a very, very high PFF grade in his Saints debut. Also a good sign that we finally have a number for the Honey Badger. It's number 32. You can go pick up your Tyrann Mathieu jersey at chatsports.com/honeybadger. I know producer Trace ordered his. I got to order mine soon. Actually, I might do it right now because we got a great deal. Chatsports.com/honeybadger. Go pick it up. It's on sale for a limited time. We don't know how long it's going to be on sale, so go and take advantage of it. Chatsports.com/honeybadger. Let's get into this NFL Top 100 list, and we begin with Marshon Lattimore, who is 89th? Your thoughts?
Roger Goodell is an idiot. I know he isn't the one who makes the calls on
Voted on by the players. That's worth noting.
Voted on by the players, but that doesn't take.
He was behind. He was behind Mac Jones, by the way. He was behind Mac Jones.
I have that graphic coming up here in a second. I'm just gonna say there are not 88 players better than Marshon Lattimore. That is just nonsense.
No.
That is just absurd to me. I mean, hold on. I got to pull this up. Look at the 5 names around him. This is just, oh my goodness. Like, are you kidding me?
Mac Jones being in this is disgraceful.
That is not better than Marshon Lattimore. If you look, I have Denzel Ward's stats as well. I'm going to pull those up here in just a second. If you ask me, not that much better than Marshon Lattimore. I think having, Jonathan Allen, whatever, he's pretty solid. Shaq Barrett's good.
Shaq Barrett's pretty good.
But come on, man. Are you kidding me? Like, look at this. I mean, 68 to 43 tackles, 1 tackle for loss versus 0. Oh, well. 0 sacks versus half a sack. Oh, well. But 13 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, that's similar to both of them. I just think that there's also, that should say a lot because the Saints defense is leaps and bounds better than the Browns defense. And so Marshon Lattimore is putting up these numbers and these stats, meanwhile being on a better team than Denzel Ward, and it is just ridiculous if you ask me. I think it's criminal.
Trace Gerard is fired up, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm so over it because it feels
him down.
The Saints are just getting disrespected left and right. It's ridiculous. There are not 88 better players than Marshon Lattimore, and it's just so frustrating to see that. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm alone in my thoughts on that. But if you ask me, that's just not the case. And it's criminal that they had him rated that low. It really is.
What he said. I agree with everything that Trace Gerard just said. Trace Gerard, man. Woo! That was fun to watch. Trace Gerard fired up. What would you have ranked Marshon Lattimore? Go down in the comment section. I sure as hell wouldn't have ranked him 89. Go down. Let me know what you would have ranked Marshon Lattimore. Demario Davis also making the list. He was 64th last year. This year, 74th. Tyrann Mathieu fell back a little bit as well. He was 70th. I would have ranked him much higher. Cameron Jordan, I would have ranked much higher. He came in at 69. I mean, that's a nice number, but he should have been ranked higher than that. So should have Kamara. I mean, the disrespect that the Saints got in these rankings is ridiculous, Trace. No words.
I mean, it's fine. It's okay to have an inaccurate opinion. That's okay. But just acknowledge the fact that you're stupid. No. This just frustrates me. Top 25 is maybe a little bit far to say, like a stretch to say.
Top 30. Be top 30.
Top 30? Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? I'm very eager to see who else makes this list because – oh, boy, it is just so frustrating that Kamara got screwed like this. And like I said earlier, I don't know what it is. The NFL has a vendetta against the Saints, and I don't know what it is. And it's ridiculous. They have been disrespected with all these ratings. There's still a few players that need to get up there. I'm interested to see what they do with Michael Thomas because, he hasn't played a full season since 2019. He's been kind of back and forth and stuff. So I do think that he will definitely be lower on the list and stuff, but I don't know. You think you could still make an argument for him being a top 50 player in the NFL. That's just my opinion, though. So,
Trace,
I'm a fan.
A high school football announcer once said, nuts and bolts, we got screwed. That is how I would sum it up for the Saints. They got screwed in these rankings. Demario Davis should be ranked higher. Marshon Lattimore should be ranked higher. Tyrann Mathieu should be ranked higher. Cameron Jordan should be ranked higher. And Alvin Kamara, sure as hell, is not the 51st ranked player in the National Football League.
It's just criminal.
He should be higher as well. Who else on the Saints are going to make the top 100 list? Go down in the comments section and chime in. Want to give some shout-outs before we go. We got Baleb, Oddly, FETV, Robert Peters, Gear, Leon Calendar. You want to finish this off here, Trace?
Hey, we got Really Rose, Drew Shreds, King, Oliver, Terrence Johnson, Jeremiah Hardell. We see every single one of you guys down in the comments, so don't think that we're not giving out shout-outs because we don't see you. It's just so hard to give shout-outs to the real one, so be sure to comment real one if you haven't already, and we'll give you a shout-out in the next video.